There's a sinister shadow hiding many secrets beneath the wool of a sheep. Susie, Peppa's best friend, is quite a controversial character, and there are mysteries surrounding her that might be even weirder than you think. But are the secrets behind this character really that sinister? Let's get one thing straight. Susie doesn't have a father, and in just a moment, we'll tell you why. But there is a male character responsible for this little sheep's existence. Since Susie's very first appearance alongside her mom and later with her grandma, fans have had a very valid question about Peppa's best friend's family. Who is Susie's dad? There are many theories. The most probable one is that Mrs. Sheep separated from her ex-husband and got full custody of her daughter. Yes, that's definitely possible. But the problem is that wouldn't stop Mr. Sheep from being part of his daughter's life, unless he chose to stay away. The second theory is that Susie's mom is a widow because her husband sadly passed away. And honestly, this theory makes a lot of sense because Mrs. Sheep probably wouldn't have moved to another country if Susie's father were still alive. The show even avoids showing Susie in the Father's Day episode on purpose so they don't have to answer this question, but we are gonna answer it for you. The truth is, Susie could be a lab experiment, most likely led by a very intelligent scientist we all know. He would logically be the male character responsible for little Susie Sheep's existence. Can you guess who it is? Today, we're going to uncover some of the biggest mysteries surrounding Susie Sheep, so grab your popcorn and get comfy on the couch. It's time for another Cinewave. We're going to teach you how to make a clone just like Susie Sheep right now. Grab a pen and paper or use your phone to take notes. First, take a picture of the person you want to clone. It can be anyone, even an animal. 2. Once you have the image on your computer, right-click on the photo and select Copy. And there you have it, your clone is perfect! Was that how Susie Sheep was created? Jokes aside, Susie could very well be a clone, not of her mother, but of her grandmother. And even worse, there might be an entire family of cloned sheep. Still skeptical? Peppa Pig makes several references to the real world. Queen Elizabeth II, Mr. Fox being a thief, and Mr. Wolf wanting to eat Daddy Pig just like in the classic fairy tale are just a few examples. When it comes to Susie, her character references the story of Dolly the sheep, the first cloned animal created by humans. And yes, this is totally possible because just like Bluey references Australian culture, Peppa Pig does the same with Britain. Dolly was a sheep from Scotland, which is a country in Great Britain, so Peppa's best friend could be a direct reference to this real-life event. And because of this, an even more shocking theory emerges. There was another sheep that played an important role in science, and she also exists in Peppa's universe. We're talking about Polly, a sheep created alongside Dolly, but with a major difference. She wasn't a clone, but an animal with human DNA, meaning she had human characteristics within her. Do you see where this is going? This very technology could have been used to create Peppa Pig's world, animals mixed with human traits. But who could have done this? Only 2 characters seem capable, Grandpa Rabbit and, of course, Edmund Elephant, who might actually be an adult in disguise. Another clue is the fact that Susie's family only consists of female sheep. Grandma Sheep, Mommy Sheep, Susie, and her cousin Charlotte. That's really strange. It's almost as if they don't need male figures because they're all born in a lab. There's a lot of mystery surrounding a possible evil twin of Susie. When she's mean to Peppa or when she insists on cutting down trees for no reason, those could be signs. This theory actually ties into the idea of Susie being a clone and that there may be other copies of her out there. Susie's twin might hate pretending to be her sister, especially because their mom and grandma refuse to admit the truth to the whole town. That would be a disaster for everyone. This could even expose the rabbits as being behind the whole cloning conspiracy. Maybe that's why Miss Rabbit is everywhere, even in France. In Susie's case, her evil twin, who is actually a clone, could be easy to recognize whenever we see her acting out of character, like when she fights with Peppa or demands the trees be cut down for no reason. Maybe that's why Mrs. Sheep was so desperate to leave the country. She knew she couldn't keep her daughter's clone hidden forever, and since she lost her job opportunity, the only solution was to call Grandma to move in with them. That way, Grandma could keep the copy locked away. Notice that when Susie asks why they're moving, her mom awkwardly says that there will be 3 of them living in the house. She says this in front of Peppa just to throw her off because there's already a clone living there. And what about you? Would you like to have your own clone to do all your boring tasks for you? Comment #clone and we'll make a copy of you. There's a reason behind everything. The sheep family uses clones because they actually sell their own wool and need a massive production of this fabric. Imagine what a genius idea. The whole world needs sheep's wool, and we see in the episode George's New Clothes that they avoid woolen clothes, which could have only been made from Susie and her family's bodies. That's how they make money, and that's why Mummy Pig wanted to move. She was looking for a place that bought sheep's wool at a good price. And as you may have noticed, the competition between sellers is tough, given that Susie and her mom didn't land the job they dreamed of. And who would be the owner of the wool business? Of course, that would be Mrs. Rabbit, her whole family actually. They own every business in town, except for Mr. Fox's shop. Grandpa Rabbit might have cloned Granny Sheep years ago to start his wool clothing business, and that's how he built a huge fortune. But to keep up production, he needed more. That's when Mummy Rabbit and Cousin Charlotte were born too. We say born so you can understand, but in reality, these characters were lab creations. Don't believe what we're saying? There's only one character in Peppa Pig's universe who wears a woolen outfit, and that's Grandpa Rabbit with his warm beanie. Not to mention that beard. It looks way too much like wool. Rabbits aren't that hairy. Just look at all the male characters in Peppa Pig. If you look closely, there's an anchor design on Grandpa Rabbit's beanie, symbolizing that he was a sailor. But the thing is, the characters who work in the Navy wear a different kind of hat, the same as Grandpa Pig's, not woolen beanies. So where did Grandpa Rabbit get that hat from? Simple. He's involved in the business of exploiting sheep to sell wool, and that's why Susie's mom is so upset when she finds out she doesn't have a job. She couldn't escape. Could Grandpa Rabbit's beard actually be a woolen mask to keep his face warm? Want another clue that Grandpa Rabbit was the one who created the clones because he needed to run a wool clothing brand? Take a good look at Susie Sheep's pajamas in the episode Future when Peppa sleeps over at her house. The biggest hint is right there. Right in the middle of Susie's nightwear, we see the same ship anchor design as the one on Grandpa Rabbit's woolen beanie. Everyone remembers the episode about Leo, Susie's imaginary friend. But what if he's not exactly imaginary? There's a possibility that Susie actually sees a lion that only she can perceive. Does that make her a crazy sheep? Maybe. All the lab experiments she's probably been through might have made her start seeing things and develop a split personality. This theory could explain the whole evil twin sister mystery. It was always Susie, or rather, the other Susie that exists inside the original one and sees things like imaginary lions. Or maybe it's something even deeper. What if Susie can see spirits? Maybe that's why she didn't notice that Madame Gazelle didn't have a reflection in the mirror. She's so used to seeing things like this that she didn't even realize her teacher might be a vampire. In Susie's mind, some people don't have reflections because she doesn't understand that she can see things from the other side. You know what's better than seeing spirits? Watching our videos all the time. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. But why does Susie want so badly for trees to be cut down? This mystery happens in a few episodes. First, when the turtle escapes from the vet and climbs up a tree. When all the characters fail to rescue the turtle and end up stuck in the branches, Susie suggests 3 times that they should cut the tree down. Is Susie against the environment or something? Is she evil and just wants people to fall and get hurt? The truth is much simpler than that. Sheep love eating leaves, but since they're short and can't climb as well as their cousins, the goats, they can only eat leaves when they fall to the ground. Just like how Peppa loves jumping in muddy puddles because she's a pig, or how wolves love to howl because that's just what wolves do. Even Pedro loves playing cowboy because he's a pony. In real life, sheep love chewing on things, and Susie's biggest wish is to be able to reach the leaves at the top of the trees so she can finally bite something she normally can't. Grandpa and Granny Pig should probably never invite this sheep to visit their garden. That could be a real tragedy for their carrots and potatoes. Susie dreams of becoming a nurse, so much so that in the episode Future, we see her dressed as one, along with a drawing on the wall showing how much she wants this profession. But why exactly a nurse? Is there a deeper reason why Susie wants so badly to take care of people? And not just that, Peppa's friend also seems to like the idea of flying a plane when she grows up. Out of all the theories, this one makes the most sense. Susie grew up far from her dad, and that's why she wants to be a pilot, so she could visit him more easily. But there's something even deeper than that. Susie wants to be a nurse because maybe her father is very sick, or perhaps he already passed away while living far away from his daughter. In the episode about professions, Susie says she'd like to be a nurse because nurses help people get better. It really seems like she has a deep emotional connection to this idea. Yes, Susie must have lost her father while living apart from him, and that's why she dreams of taking care of others. We call that having a purpose or a mission. Wow, that's really a lot of information about Susie Sheep, but there are still more mysteries in this universe waiting to be uncovered, and you can follow them all right here with us. We've picked 2 more videos for you to enjoy while you wait for the next one.